I got the All Gravity Blocks Set Seed Glitchless World Record. This category is very fun and very niche. There's only a few active runners, so I would highly recommend checking it out if you're interested. In this category, you need to get all the gravity blocks, including the Dragon Egg, every single anvil, every single concrete powder, and other miscellaneous blocks like red sand, sand, gravel, and scaffolding. This run was very cool, so stick to the end. Alright, now let's get into the run. You can see I spawn on a beach near a jungle, and the jungle is so I can get the coca beans for the round concrete powder and bamboo for the scaffolding. Now, I loot a buried treasure. That isn't the only buried treasure I loot in this run. There's a few more coming up, but you need to get a lot of iron for the anvils as well. That's very important. I end up grabbing my red and yellow dye from a flower patch here. This part is a little bit annoying to reset for because Minecraft's decoration is a little bit RNG, and there's a possibility of like 5 different flower patches that can spawn there, or of like 5 different leaves that can obstruct the flowers, and this was the best one, and it's one of the most common as well, from what I've seen. I have about 1,000 attempts on this seed, so a sub 15 time after all that is pretty impressive, and I'm really happy with the route I came up with here as well. So I looted all the BTs, got a lot of materials, a lot of food, and I end up blowing up a little bit of a tree and a lot of sand. So I end up getting all my sand to craft the concrete powder right here, 20 dirt, which is almost exactly as much as I need, and 3 logs, which can help me craft. I end up making diamond sword, diamond pick, and diamond shovel, just because it's fast to mine, and I end up using my gold axe to get 5 extra logs for a boat, and the rest of the wood is for the ender dragon fight for crafting beds. Now, there are shipwrecks and buried treasures further away. I don't know if the shipwreck's visible, but there's one up in the top left. But I actually don't end up going to them. In fact, I end up going down a cave after killing the squid for ink sacs, which will be crafted into black dye, grey dye, and light grey dye. And I end up getting my gravel from this patch. Something that you might notice is that I don't actually end up making doors. That's because I don't really need to. There's a lot of iron in this ravine, but I only end up mining about 20 of it. That's because most of the iron is mined from the Bastion or the Stronghold, and this is so I don't accidentally mine too many iron at the front of the run, wasting time, because piglins have a chance to trade iron nuggets, so sometimes they do trade it, but sometimes they don't. There's a lot of iron over here that I end up mining, and I also get my lapis lazuli from this ravine, which I use to craft my blue dyes and other dyes that I need blue to craft from. My nether enter is also right around here. You can see some obsidian, which I don't end up using to enter. I end up digging into a lava pool, which is right about here. I could have swam up after getting the iron, but this gives me enough cobblestone for 2 furnaces, and those furnaces will be smelting all the iron while I do the Bastion route. I end up throwing out my flint and steel there just for inventory management because the pigs will give me fire charges. And I also end up pausing here to load a lot of the nether so that I have a lesser chance of any zombified piglins or hoglins in my bastion because it's really close. If I were to unpause right away, the mob cap would fill up quicker, and there's a chance that more mobs would spawn in my bastion. I end up messing up the movement there, but it doesn't matter too much. The way I get into this bastion is very interesting. I do a little double stack here, jump across, and I end up mining this 1 block here to get to this chest. This tech works on all double gaps. It's pretty cool. I end up being just 1 dirt block short of being able to make it, so getting that amount of dirt is alright. There's a baby hoglin here, and he's a little bit annoying. I end up punching the guy. And I set up my furnaces here, and I smelt all my coal. This is, by definition, a pace lock, but it doesn't matter because I know how long my bastions usually take. I can't leave any faster than 110 seconds. That's how long it will take one of the furnaces to smelt, because that way my iron won't be done smelting and I'd have the raw iron block. Luckily, the Bastion usually takes longer than that anyways. And I try to get a lot more stuff than I usually do from the Bastion, because not only do I want pearls, explosives, obsidian, I need about 9 obsidian for 20 obsidian for 2 nether portals. And you may be thinking, why do you need 2 nether portals? Don't you have the Stronghold quartz memorized? And that's right. But I still have some gravity blocks that I have yet to get. End up freeing these piglins so the trades can go faster. I also need a bunch of string, both for scaffolding and for explosives. I also need, and this is very important, materials for a respawn anchor, so glowstone and crying obsidian. This is very important for reasons that you will see very soon. I end up getting some materials from this chest, including 4 iron and a few iron nuggets. And a bone block. The bone block is good for getting white dye, so I don't have to rely on killing skeletons later in the run, either in the Stronghold or in the overworld after I exit the end. I end up using a gravel to push up the blocks because I guess I'd get more. And looking at my trades, I have everything I need, pretty much, so I get up to leave. I almost throw by using my gravel to build up here, but I quickly decide against it and end up using my soul sand for I think the remainder of the run. I end up crafting my iron and scaffolding for inventory management and end up crafting a respawn anchor here. I'll also end up mining my furnaces before loading my pearl to get to the fortress. This fortress chokes a lot of runs because I need to kill 3 blazes for the 6-eye portal room. However, sometimes you get good strays, but sometimes, or most of the time you don't, because it's a crimson fortress. And the rates in this run were rather unforgiving. That's what I use the respawn anchor for, by the way. I end up setting my spawn in the nether, so that way when I come out of the end, I will just show up there, and once I have 10 obsidian, I can go to my portal spot to build my portal to go to the mesa to get the red sand. Which is kind of cool, just seeing like a run not finish in the end. Seeing a run finish in the overworld is pretty quirky. This spawner is open. Sometimes when there's hoglins, which a lot of the time actually, because of the 2 render distance from the pearl hang, there will be a hoglin that goes here to mess up the spawner. Luckily there's none here, but I end up going to the different spawner anyways. I see a skeleton try to shoot at me, so I block him off. There's a wither skeleton and a zombified piglin in this spawner, so I end up killing the wither skeleton. Now, usually at this point, I'd think pace is pretty bad just because I don't have any blaze rods. There is a zombified piglin standing in my spawner, so I'll probably get less spawns, but I figure I'll play it out anyways just for practice, and I overlap crafting my dyes as well. I end up getting, I think, 2 rods there. I don't have much to overlap right as of now, except for maybe clearing out my inventory. The thing is, inventory management is very important in this category because everything in my inventory right now is important. You could probably argue a few things that aren't, but everything in my inventory you could like argue a use for. And even then I do end up throwing out a lot of stuff. I have my last 2 blazes spawn. Luckily this blaze drops a rod and then I'm able to up my pearl distance, and I quickly craft my eyes to overlap it. And I even throw out this stack of pearls just to clear an inventory space, which I feel like you never see people throw out pearls in like an RSG context. And I end up throwing a few pearls I don't have to get to the second portal cords. And I am at like Y57 here, so you'd think that, oh, you need to dig down, but no, I build it up here because it snaps me to a cave near the Stronghold, because remember, I still need to mine some iron, and because the Stronghold's like all in a cave, I'd figure, hey, why not, this just lets me get a lot of iron. And instantly, right off the rip, I'm out of the portal and I'm just mining iron. There's not much happening in this section. I'm just gonna leave you to it. this point, I open my inventory to check how much iron I have and how much I need to mine, and I realize I only really need to mine about 23 or so iron. I think I end up mining like 30 though, to be safe. That's a lie, by the way. I needed to mine 29 and I got 30. And because I know how much I need, I mine exactly enough cobblestone for 2 more furnaces in the end to smelt the iron rather quickly. And I get my last 2 iron out of this Stronghold altar chest here. I'm able to place my Eyes of Ender to enter the end. The silverfish scares me. I've accidentally thrown an eye in the portal room before. And now for the end fight. Now, I end up pearl clipping out of here just because I don't like digging up. It's pretty slow. Even though it's not necessarily a time lapse, I like getting all my stuff set up faster. I end up using the Crying Obsidian, and here in the end is where stuff starts becoming useless. Like, my Crying Obsidian, I just do not need anymore. I end up towering up there because the dragon likes to fireball me, and like it did just there. And I can jump off and can be free from the wrath of the dragon. I end up crafting my beds really quick here because I think it's going to perch. And I'm right, it does snap right there. Now my beds are pretty bad, unfortunately. I think the dragon was laggy, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was offset, who knows. I wish I could have killed him in 5 beds, because usually having another bed to sleep to avoid mobs is pretty cool. But yeah, I'll take what I can get. I end up placing a soul sand on top where I'll almost go through the end portal there before I'm ready, which is pretty bad. But I place a soul sand there so the dragon egg spawns on top of it so I can collect it with by placing string in the offhand, and I end up crafting 2 anvils here. This is so that I realize that my furnaces are still smelting, so I decide I can overlap placing my anvils, getting them to fall, and hoping they will break. Because I'm crafting 3 anvils in this run, and I need one of them to break once, and one of them to break twice. And it is kind of annoying to do. I haven't like fully figured out a consistent way to do it, which isn't like go up super duper high, which is what I do because I need to break both of these anvils once, so I'm able to place one to my left and one to my right. I'll stumble. I could have pearled down here, but I decided to boat to save health or something. And at this point I notice my furnaces are done smelting, so it's time to go back to the nether and finish up the end game of this run. There's not a lot of stuff I need to get left. There's just red sand, one more gravel, and some cactus. Now I know where I need to go, so I can whip a pearl and drink fire res just in case of any lava, because I know that there's a lava fall here. End up placing my soul sand, but misplaced it accidentally. I start building my portal to go to the mesa. At this point I don't need my obsidian or my fire charges anymore, so I throw them out. And right here I'm locked in, but I'm also very nervous because I know this pace is good. I end up getting out my shovel and just straight up ripping it. Need exactly 3 cactus, and luckily there's 3 cactus right here. I'm panicking right here because I only have 1 plank and nothing to smelt it, but I remembered I have a lava bucket, which I never replaced in the Stronghold because I usually place it with water. End up mining gravel here, and now I have everything I need to finish the run, so all that's left to do is to craft and place down the blocks. And right now I'm a little bit nervous because I know that there's a zombie approaching me and I'm very low health, but I want to get this craft off before I need to kill it. And after that, I end up placing down all the miscellaneous blocks, including the 1 sand and gravel that I just got, before it's time to craft the dyes, and then craft all the concrete powder that I need to. Thank you all so much for watching. This category is pretty fun. If there's a newer seed with a better route or a faster route, then I may run it again just because it's pretty fun. It is definitely beatable just because of the fort split. But that's all from me. Enjoy the end game. The light gray concrete powder was the last block I need to place, which ends my time at 14:37. I pause a bit around here just because I'm not sure if I need to place down any more blocks or if I'm missing something, but I'm not. And I got the world record and the first ever sub 15 in this category, which is pretty cool. Subscribe for more all gravity blocks.